Moonlit Legends presents Luna's Awakening, Season 3. The Next Generation. My name is Luna Nightshade, and I'm turning 18 in 3 days. Most teenagers worry about college applications and prom dates. Me? I'm worried about the ancient prophecy that says I'll either unite the supernatural world or destroy it completely. Oh, and there's this guy. A vampire prince who's supposed to be my mortal enemy, but makes my heart race every time he looks at me with those silver eyes. My parents rewrote the laws of supernatural existence. I'm about to break every single one of them. This is my story. And trust me, you haven't seen anything yet. Part 1, The Birthday Curse. Chapter 1, The Vision. Luna Nightshade woke up screaming. Again. The same nightmare. The same burning city. The same choice that tore her soul in two, save the vampires or save the werewolves. Never both. Always one. Luna. Her father's voice came through the door, tight with worry. Kale Nightshade, alpha of the Crescent Moon Pack, didn't scare easily. But his daughter's nightmares had been getting worse for weeks. She opened the door. Her father stood there in pajama pants and a t-shirt, his amber eyes glowing faintly with concern. Even after 18 years, he was still the most intimidating person she'd ever met. Except when he looked at her like this, like she was made of glass and might shatter. I'm fine, Dad. Just a bad dream. That's the 4th one this week. He stepped into her room, his massive frame somehow gentle in the doorway. Luna, if something's wrong. Nothing's wrong. She forced a smile. Pre-birthday jitters. You know how it is. Except she didn't. Because her 18th birthday wasn't just about becoming an adult. For werewolves, it was about the first shift, when young wolves finally gained full control of their transformation. When they truly became pack. But Luna had been shifting since she was 3 days old. She'd grown up straddling 2 worlds, human enough to go to regular school, wolf enough to run with the pack on full moons, and moonweaver enough that sometimes, when she was really emotional, things around her started to glow. Her mother said the magic had skipped a generation. That Luna was a pure werewolf, just unusually gifted. Her mother was lying. Your mom's making pancakes, Kale said, ruffling her dark hair the way he had since she was little. The chocolate chip kind. Luna managed a real smile this time. Bribing me with carbs. She knows my weaknesses. She knows everything. It's terrifying. But he was grinning as he said it, that soft look he always got when he talked about Arya. Downstairs, her mother stood at the stove, long dark hair pulled back in a messy bun, wearing yoga pants and one of Dad's old pack t-shirts. Arya Nightshade looked nothing like the legendary moonweaver who'd rewritten supernatural law. She looked like a regular mom making breakfast. Until you noticed her hands. When she wasn't paying attention, they glowed. Just a little. Morning, baby girl, Arya said, without turning around. She always knew when Luna entered the room. Some moonweaver thing. Sleep okay? Like a rock. The lie came easy now. Her mother's shoulders tensed. Just slightly. Luna. Arya turned, and her warm brown eyes, the same color as Luna's own, saw right through her. The nightmares are getting worse, aren't they? There was no point lying to a moonweaver. Yeah. What do you see? Arya asked Luna. Fire, destruction. A choice I can't make. Luna sat at the kitchen counter, accepting the plate of pancakes her mother slid toward her. And someone calling my name. Someone I don't know but feel like I should. Arya and Kale exchanged one of those looks. The kind parents gave each other when they knew something their kid didn't. What? Luna demanded. What aren't you telling me? Nothing, Arya said too quickly. It's probably just anxiety about your birthday. The first shift can be. Mom. I've been shifting since I was a baby. Try again. Another look between her parents. Then her father sighed, the sound of an alpha who knew he'd lost this battle. There's a prophecy, Kale said quietly. About you. Luna's fork clattered against her plate. What? Elder Celine told us when you were born, Arya continued, sitting down beside her. She said the first child born after the breaking of the old laws would be significant. That you'd have a choice to make on your 18th birthday. A choice that would determine the future of all supernatural beings. The pancakes turned to ash in Luna's mouth. And you didn't think to mention this before? We hoped it wasn't true, her father said. We hoped you could just be normal. As normal as the daughter of a Moonweaver and an Alpha can be. But the vision started, Luna finished. So it is true. Silence stretched between them. What choice? Her voice came out smaller than she intended. What do I have to choose? Celine didn't say, Arya admitted. Just that it would come. And that whatever you chose would either unite the supernatural world or tear it apart, Luna whispered, finishing her mother's sentence. Because she'd heard those words before. In her nightmares. In a voice that sounded like her own but older, harder, and broken. The doorbell rang, sharp and unexpected. All three of them froze. Nobody visited the Alpha's house unannounced. Not without calling first. Not without an invitation. Kale moved toward the door, his body already shifting into a protective stance. But before he could reach it, the door opened on its own. Silver light spilled through the entrance. And a boy stepped inside. No, not a boy. A young man. Maybe 19 or 20. Tall and lean, with platinum blonde hair that caught the morning light and skin so pale it was almost translucent. He wore all black, expensive-looking clothes that screamed money and power. But it was his eyes that made Luna's breath catch. Silver. Pure molten silver, like mercury, like moonlight made liquid. Vampire eyes. Hello, he said, his voice cultured and smooth with just a hint of an accent Luna couldn't place. My name is Dante Crimson. And I'm here to prevent Luna Nightshade from making the biggest mistake of her life. Before anyone could move, the boy's eyes found Luna's. And she felt it, a pull, sharp and undeniable, like a hook behind her ribcage yanking her forward. His eyes widened in shock, silver brightening to almost white. No, he whispered, horror and wonder mixing in his voice. That's impossible. You're a werewolf. I'm a vampire. We can't be. But Luna already knew what he was going to say. Because she felt it too. The bond. The connection. The absolute certainty that this stranger, this enemy, was somehow, impossibly, meant to be hers. Fated mates. A werewolf and a vampire. The one thing that should be impossible under her mother's new laws. The one thing that had never happened in all of supernatural history. And it was happening to her. Part 2, The Impossible Bond. Chapter 2, The Vampire Prince. The kitchen exploded into chaos. Kale shifted partially, his eyes glowing amber, fangs descending as he stepped between Luna and the vampire. You have 3 seconds to explain why you're in my house before I rip your throat out. Dad, wait. Luna tried to move around him, but her mother's hand on her shoulder stopped her. Luna, stay back. Arya's hands were glowing silver now, power crackling around her fingers. Kale, he got through the wards. He shouldn't have been able to. I'm not here to fight, Dante said, raising his hands slowly. His silver eyes never left Luna's face. I'm here because the Crimson Court sent me. Because of the prophecy. Because. He cut himself off, his jaw clenching. Because apparently, the universe has a twisted sense of humor. What prophecy? Kale demanded. And who the hell is the Crimson Court? You don't know. Dante's eyebrows rose. The Crimson Court is vampire nobility. The oldest families. The ones who actually remember the old laws. His gaze flicked to Arya. The ones who weren't entirely thrilled when you rewrote them. If you're here to. I'm not here to hurt anyone, Dante interrupted. I'm here because 3 days ago, every seer in the vampire world had the same vision. A girl. A wolf. And a choice that would either save us all or condemn the vampires to extinction. Luna's blood ran cold. What choice? On your 18th birthday, you'll be offered power, Dante said, his voice careful and measured. The kind of power that hasn't been seen since the first Moonweaver. You'll be able to rewrite the supernatural laws again. But there's a catch. There's always a catch, Arya muttered. The power comes from an ancient source. Something older than vampires, older than werewolves. Something that was locked away for a reason. Dante's silver eyes darkened. If you accept it, you'll become the most powerful being in existence. But the price is balance. To gain that power, you have to sacrifice one species. Vampires or werewolves. You choose who lives and who dies. Silence fell like a guillotine blade. No, Luna snapped. That's insane. I would never. The visions say you will. Dante's voice was soft now, almost gentle. They say on your 18th birthday, you'll make the choice. And based on what our seers have seen, most timelines show you choosing to save the werewolves and eliminate the vampires. Most timelines. Kale's voice was dangerous. What does that mean? There's one timeline where both species survive. Dante finally looked away from Luna, meeting her father's glare. But it requires something that's never been done before. It requires a bond between vampire and werewolf. A true bond. Fated mates. The words hung in the air. That's impossible, Arya said flatly. Fated mates only occur within species. The laws don't allow. Your laws don't allow it, Dante corrected. But the older magic, the source offering Luna power, operates on different rules. And apparently, it decided to create a loophole. His eyes found Luna's again, and that pull yanked at her chest. I felt it the moment I saw her. She felt it too. I know she did. Luna couldn't deny it. That hook behind her ribs, that absolute certainty, it was the same thing her parents described when they talked about their mate bond. The same thing she'd grown up hearing about, dreaming about, hoping she'd find someday. She just never thought it would be with a vampire. This is ridiculous, Kale said. Luna, come here. We're leaving. But when Luna tried to move toward her father, pain shot through her chest. Actual physical pain, like someone had wrapped barbed wire around her heart and pulled. She gasped, stumbling. Dante moved before anyone could stop him, catching her elbow. The moment his skin touched hers, the pain vanished. Warmth flooded through her instead, along with emotions that weren't her own, concern, fear, determination, and underneath it all, a bone-deep recognition. Don't touch her. Kale lunged, but Arya's hand shot out, silver light forming a barrier. Kale, wait. Arya's voice shook. Look at her. Luna glanced down. Her hands were glowing. Not with her mother's silver Moonweaver light. Something different. Silver and gold mixed together, swirling like liquid metal under her skin. What's happening to me? She whispered. The bond is activating, Dante said quietly. He was still holding her elbow, his pale hand stark against her tan skin. The magic recognizes us as mates. It's trying to complete the connection. No. Kale's voice broke. This can't be happening. She's 18 years old. She's my daughter. She's not. She's not a child anymore, Alpha Nightshade. Dante's voice held respect, but also steel. And like it or not, the magic has made its choice. We're bonded. If we fight it, we both die. I've seen what happens when fated mates reject the bond. It's not pretty. So what? Luna pulled her arm free, the loss of contact making her chest ache. I'm just supposed to accept this? Accept you? I don't even know you. I know. Dante's expression softened. And if I could change it, I would. Do you think I want this? You're a werewolf. My family would disown me. The entire Crimson Court would see this as a betrayal. Then reject me, Luna challenged. If it's such a disaster, just reject the bond. His silver eyes flashed with pain. I can't. Why not? Because I already tried. He reached up, unbuttoning the top of his black shirt. Beneath it, over his heart, was a mark. Silver and gold, the same colors swirling under Luna's skin, formed into an intricate pattern that looked like a wolf and a bat intertwined. The bond mark appeared the moment I saw you. It's already permanent. If I reject you now, this mark will kill me. Slowly. Painfully. And you'll die with me. Luna touched her own chest, right over her heart. Through her t-shirt, she could feel something there. A raised pattern that hadn't existed this morning. No, she whispered. No, this can't be happening. Luna, Arya reached for her. Don't. Luna backed away, her heart racing, her wolf pushing at her skin, wanting to be out. This is insane. I can't. She ran. Out the back door, through the yard, into the forest that bordered their property. She didn't stop running until she was deep in the trees, far enough that she couldn't hear her parents calling her name. Then she shifted. Her bones cracked and reformed, for sprouting, body changing. But instead of the silver-gray wolf she'd been since childhood, her fur was different now. Still gray, but shot through with gold. Like someone had painted her with liquid metal. She howled. A sound of frustration and fear and anger at the universe for doing this to her. A rustle in the underbrush made her spin around, teeth bared. Dante stepped up from behind a tree, still in human form, his hands raised. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you," she growled. How had he followed her? And why wasn't she attacking him? Her wolf should want to tear apart a vampire. Instead, it wanted to. No. She refused to think about what her wolf wanted to do. "I know you're angry," Dante said softly. "I know this isn't what you wanted. It's not what I wanted either. But we don't get to choose our fated mates, Luna. The magic chooses for us." She shifted back, not caring that she was naked. Werewolves got over modesty young. So what? I'm supposed to just accept this? Accept you? Bond with you and live happily ever after while both our families hate us? No. He shrugged off his jacket and held it out to her. When she just glared at it, he sighed and tossed it at her feet. "I'm saying we have 3 days to figure out what the hell we're going to do. Because on your 18th birthday, you're going to be offered that power. And based on every vision the seers have had, if you accept it while we're in bonded, you'll choose to save the werewolves and erase the vampires from existence." I would never. Not consciously. But the magic has a will of its own. It feeds on emotion, on instinct. You're a wolf. You love your pack. When the moment comes, when you have to choose, your wolf will choose its own kind. His silver eyes were sad. I don't blame you for it. It's natural. It's survival. But it means everyone I love dies. Luna pulled on his jacket. It smelled like him, expensive cologne with an undertone of something cold and metallic. Vampire. She should hate that smell. Instead, it made her wolf calm down and made her heart beat steady. What if I refuse the power? She asked. What if I just say no? Then the source finds someone else. Someone without your conscience. Someone who might make an even worse choice. Dante ran a hand through his platinum hair. The seers were very clear. The power will be offered. Someone will accept it. The only question is who and what they'll do with it. So my options are, take the power and commit genocide, or let someone else take it and hope they don't commit genocide. Luna laughed, but it sounded broken. Great. Fantastic. Best 18th birthday ever. There's a third option. Which is, we complete the bond. Dante took a step closer. If we're fully bonded, if we're true mates in every sense, then when you're offered the power, the bond will influence your choice. You won't be able to choose one species over the other because you'll be part of both. Werewolf and vampire. The magic will have to preserve both or preserve neither. And you know how? I don't. Not for certain. He was close enough now that she could see flecks of blue in his silver eyes. But it's the only timeline where both species survive. Where no one has to die. Complete the bond, Luna repeated. You mean? I mean the mating ceremony. The blood exchange. He cut himself off, a flush actually coloring his two pale cheeks. All of it. Heat flooded Luna's face. I'm 18. I'm aware. I've dated, but I've never. Neither have I. His voice was quiet. Vampires wait for their fated mates. It's tradition. Which means we're both. He trailed off, looking as uncomfortable as she felt. So let me get this straight. Luna crossed her arms. To save both our species, I have to complete a mating bond with a vampire I met 10 minutes ago, which means sharing blood and having, she couldn't even say it. And all of this has to happen in 3 days or everyone I love might die. Yes, Dante responded. That's insane. Luna said with a frustrated look. Yes, Dante said in response. This is the worst birthday present ever. Yes. He smiled, just a little. It transformed his face from coldly beautiful to something warmer. Almost human. For what it's worth, you're not what I expected either. What did you expect? Someone more. He gestured vaguely at her. Werewolfish. All rage and claws and intimidation. You're different. Different how? You smell like rain and wildflowers, he said softly. And your eyes are the exact color of amber I used to collect when I was young. And when you shifted, you were the most beautiful wolf I'd ever seen. Luna's traitorous heart skipped a beat. That's the bond talking. Maybe. He took another step closer. Or maybe the bond just helped me see what was already there. They stood there, inches apart, the forest quiet around them except for the sound of their breathing. I need time, Luna said finally. To think and process everything. It's too much and too sudden. You have 3 days. I know. She looked up at him, really looked at him, and tried to see past the vampire to the person underneath. Tell me something true. Something real. Not about the prophecy or the bond or any of this supernatural politics. Just something about you. He was quiet for a long moment. Then, I have a younger sister. Ivy. She's 16. She wants to be a doctor, which is hilarious because vampires can't actually practice medicine on humans, ethics issues, but she doesn't care. She reads medical journals for fun. A real smile crossed his face. She's the only person in my family who didn't care that I was different. That I didn't want to play vampire politics. That I wanted to travel, to see the world beyond court intrigue. You have a sister. Luna filed that away. Made him more real somehow. I'm an only child. Always wanted siblings. Mom says one miracle baby was enough. Miracle baby? Long story. Has to do with the fact that I shouldn't exist. Luna kicked at a rock. What else? What do you do for fun? I read. History mostly. Biography. I collect old books. He looked almost embarrassed. I have first editions of things that would make your head spin. Including a signed copy of Dracula, which I think is hilarious and my father thinks is deeply embarrassing. Despite everything, Luna laughed. You have a copy of Dracula? Bram Stoker was actually a nice guy. Met him at a party in London in 1897. He got almost everything wrong, but he meant well. You met Bram Stoker. I'm 120 years old, Luna. I've met a lot of people. That stopped her. 120? Vampires age differently. I was turned when I was 19. I'll look like this forever. He studied her face. Does that bother you? I don't know. She'd never thought about dating someone who was over a century old. Do I bother you? The werewolf thing. You terrify me, he admitted. But not because you're a wolf. Because in 3 days, you might erase my entire species from existence, and there's nothing I can do to stop you except hope that this bond, this impossible, insane bond, is strong enough to change your mind. The honesty in his voice made her chest ache. I don't want anyone to die. Vampire, werewolf, human, I don't want anyone to die because of me. Then we have to make the bond work. He held out his hand. 3 days, Luna. Give me 3 days to prove that maybe, just maybe, the magic knew what it was doing when it chose us. She stared at his hand. Pale, long-fingered, elegant. A vampire's hand. Her fated mate's hand. 3 days, she agreed, taking it. The moment their skin touched, that rightness flooded through her again. The bond humming with satisfaction. But if you try anything, I won't. His fingers tightened around hers. We'll go at your pace. Whatever you need. However long it takes. We have 3 days. Then we'll make them count. As they walked back through the forest toward her house, Luna's phone buzzed in her jeans pocket. A text from an unknown number. She pulled it out, and her blood ran cold. The message was simple. Reject the vampire or watch everyone you love burn. You have 48 hours. The old order attached was a photo. Her best friend Emma, bound and gagged, terror in her eyes. No, Luna whispered. No, 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 Dante grabbed the phone, his face going white. The old order. They were supposed to be gone. Your mother defeated them, apparently not. Luna's hands were shaking. They have Emma. They're going to kill her if I don't reject you. If you reject me, we both die. And if I don't, Emma dies. Tears burned her eyes. What am I supposed to do? Before Dante could answer, another text came through. Choose, wolf girl. Your mate or your friend. You can't save them both. Time's ticking. And Luna realized her nightmare was just beginning. Part 3. The Stolen Friend. Chapter 3. Into Enemy Territory. The Nightshade house erupted into controlled chaos. Kale was on the phone with Maya, his second-in-command, barking orders about perimeter security and search parties. Arya had her hands pressed against a map of the territory, silver light spreading across it like a web, trying to track Emma's location. Luna sat at the kitchen table, Dante standing behind her, both of them staring at the threatening text. "We can find her," Arya said, but her voice lacked conviction. "The magic can track." "They'll have wards," Dante interrupted. "The old order knows how to hide from Moonweavers. They've been doing it for years." "How do you know that?" Kale's eyes narrowed dangerously. "Because some of them are vampires." Dante's jaw clenched. "The extremists on our side, the ones who never accepted the peace treaty. I thought my father had them under control, but apparently they've been planning this." Luna's hands curled into fists. "Using my birthday. Using the prophecy. They knew this would happen." "They want you to reject me," Dante said quietly. "They want the bond broken so that when you take the power, you'll do what the visions showed, eliminate the vampires. Or they want me to keep the bond and let Emma die, so I'm too grief-stricken to make any choice at all," Luna countered. "Either way, they win." "No." Kale slammed his hand on the table. "They won't win. We will find Emma, get her back, and then we deal with the prophecy." "How?" Luna looked at her father. "Mom can't track her. We don't know where the old order is hiding. And we have 48 hours before she couldn't finish the sentence. Then we ask someone who might know." Dante pulled out his phone. "My father. Lord Crimson. If there are vampire extremists involved, he'll have information. And why would he help us?" Arya's tone was skeptical. "Because I'm his son. And because if the prophecy goes wrong, vampires die. Even the extremists don't want that." Dante was already dialing. "Father. It's me. I need—" He paused, listening. His expression darkened. "How long have you known?" "I see. No, I'm already bonded. It's done. That's not your decision to make." "Father, they have a hostage. A human girl. The wolf's friend. Because if I don't help her, the bond breaks and we both die. 48 hours. Then you'd better talk fast." He hung up. "My father wants to meet. He says he has information about where the old order is hiding, but he'll only share it face to face." "It's a trap," Kale said flatly. "Probably." Dante slipped his phone away. "But it's the only lead we have." "Then we go." Luna stood. "Now. You're not going anywhere near vampire territory," Kale started. "Dad, it's my friend. My choice. My life." Luna met her father's eyes. "And besides, I'm bonded to the Prince of the Crimson Court now. Technically, I have diplomatic immunity, right?" Arya and Kale exchanged another one of those looks. "She has a point," Arya said quietly. "And Dante won't let anything happen to her." "Damn right I won't." Dante's voice was fierce. "I'd die first." Kale looked between them, his jaw working. "Finally, fine. But I'm coming with you. And Maya. And a security detail of 6-pack members. Non-negotiable." "Fair enough." Dante inclined his head. "We leave in 10 minutes. Vampire territory is a tower drive." As everyone scattered to prepare, Luna caught Dante's arm. "Your father. Will he really help?" "I don't know," Dante admitted. "Lord Crimson plays a long game. But he's also practical. He won't want both his son and the only solution to the prophecy to die because of extremist politics." "That's not exactly reassuring. Welcome to Vampire Court." He gave her that small smile again. "Where everything is politics and everyone has an agenda." "Sounds exhausting." "It is. Which is why I mostly avoided it." He touched her cheek, just briefly. "Your friend. Emma. Tell me about her." Luna blinked at the sudden change of subject. "Why?" "Because if we're going to save her, I need to understand what we're fighting for." "And because," he hesitated, "because the things you love matter to me now. That's what the bond does. Your pain is my pain. Your joy is my joy. So tell me about your friend." Warmth spread through Luna's chest. Not the pull of the bond, but something softer. Something real. "Emma's been my best friend since we were 6, Luna said quietly. "She knows about the supernatural world. I told her when we were 12, and instead of freaking out, she asked if she could pet my wolf form. A smile tugged at her lips. She's brave and loyal and stubborn as hell. She wants to be a veterinarian. She makes terrible jokes. She's the only person outside my pack who sees me as just Luna. Not the Alpha's daughter. Not the Moonweaver's kid. Just me. Then we'll get her back, Dante said with absolute conviction. I promise you, Luna. Whatever it takes. She wanted to believe him. But the text on her phone said otherwise. 48 hours. And counting. Chapter 4. The Crimson Court. The Crimson Court was not what Luna expected. She'd imagined something gothic and creepy, dark castles, stone walls, maybe some cobwebs for atmosphere. Instead, she found herself walking through a gleaming modern building that looked more like a corporate headquarters than a vampire stronghold. We moved into this building in the 1990s, Dante explained as they rode the elevator to the top floor. Father thought keeping up with the times was important. Tradition is fine, but electricity and running water are better. Beside them, Kale looked deeply uncomfortable in a suit. Dante had insisted on formal wear for the meeting. Maya and the security detail waited in the lobby per the terms of the visit. Only family and bonded mates are allowed in the throne room, Dante had said, which meant Luna and her parents. The elevator opened directly into an enormous space. Floor-to-ceiling windows showed a panoramic view of the city. Sleek furniture. Modern art on the walls. And at the far end, sitting in what could only be described as a throne, because some traditions apparently did stick, was Lord Crimson. He looked like an older version of Dante. Same platinum hair, same silver eyes, same pale skin. But where Dante moved with casual grace, his father radiated power, absolute, undeniable, and ancient. Alpha Nightshade. Moonweaver. Lord Crimson's voice was cultured, neutral. And my sons, mate? His eyes lingered on Luna. How unexpected. Father. Dante moved to stand beside Luna, his hand finding hers. Thank you for seeing us. As if I had a choice. You're bonded to a werewolf, Dante. A werewolf. Do you have any idea what the court will say? What the other houses will think? I don't particularly care what they think. You should. You're my heir. Your choices reflect on the entire house. Lord Crimson stood, moving with fluid grace toward them. But we'll discuss your spectacular lapse in judgment later. For now, we have more pressing concerns. The old order, Kale said. You know where they're hiding. I know where one of their cells operates, yes. Lord Crimson's silver eyes were cold. And before you ask how I know, the answer is simple. I have spies everywhere. Including among the extremists. It's how I've kept them in check for the past 18 years. Kept them in check? Arya's voice was sharp. They kidnapped a teenage girl. A regrettable escalation. Lord Crimson didn't sound particularly regretful, but understandable from their perspective. They see the prophecy as an opportunity to rid themselves of werewolves forever. Your daughter threatens that. Because I'm bonded to your son, Luna said. Because if we complete the bond, I can't choose to eliminate one species. Precisely. Which is why they want the bond broken. Lord Crimson studied her with unnerving intensity. Tell me, Miss Nightshade, if you had to choose, if it came down to saving werewolves or vampires, what would you pick? I wouldn't choose, Luna said firmly. I'd find another way. There is no other way. The prophecy is clear. Then the prophecy is wrong. Luna stepped forward, ignoring Dante's warning hand on her arm. I'm not going to commit genocide because some ancient magic thinks I should. There has to be another option. Such confidence. Such certainty. Lord Crimson smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. Your mother had that same quality, 18 years ago. Look how that turned out. It turned out with peace, Arya said coldly. With both our species alive and thriving. With a treaty that's held for nearly 2 decades. A treaty that's failing. Lord Crimson walked to the windows, gazing out at the city. Attacks are up 30% in the last year. Trust is eroding. The extremists on both sides gain more followers every day. Your peace, Moonweaver, is fracturing. And this prophecy, this choice your daughter must make, might be the final blow that shatters it completely. Silence fell, heavy and oppressive. Or, Dante said quietly, it might be the thing that finally makes the peace permanent. If Luna and I complete the bond, if we show both species that a vampire and a werewolf can be fated mates, it changes everything. It proves that we're not as different as everyone thinks. It proves nothing except that the magic has a sense of irony, Lord Crimson snapped. You think a mating bond will convince centuries of prejudice to simply disappear? You're more naive than I thought. Maybe, Dante said. But it's better than doing nothing. Lord Crimson turned from the window, his expression unreadable. The Old Order's cell is operating out of an abandoned warehouse complex on the eastern edge of the city. District 7, near the old docks. They have wards, guards, and enough firepower to hold off a small army. Getting the girl out will not be easy. We don't need it easy, Kale said. We just need it to be possible. Possible, yes. Survivable. Lord Crimson shrugged. That depends on how reckless you're willing to be. We're getting Emma back, Luna said flatly. Whatever it takes. Such conviction. Lord Crimson's silver eyes fixed on her again. Tell me, child, do you even understand what completing the bond means? It's not simply a ceremony. It's a merging. Your souls will intertwine. Your thoughts will bleed into each other. You'll feel his hunger for blood. He'll feel your wolf's need to hunt. You'll never be fully alone again. Never be fully yourself again. Is your friend worth that price? Luna's hand tightened around Dante's. Yes. And what about you? Lord Crimson looked at his son. Are you prepared to be bound to a werewolf for eternity? To feel the moon's pull? To share her short werewolf lifespan when you could live for centuries? Werewolves bonded to vampires age differently, Dante said quietly. You know that, father. The bond extends their life. We'd have centuries together. If you survive the next 48 hours. Lord Crimson moved back to his throne, sitting with regal grace. I'll give you the location. I'll even provide a distraction to draw away some of their guards. But understand this, Dante. If you fail, if this bond breaks, if this prophecy goes wrong, I will not protect you from the consequences. You'll be on your own. I've been on my own since you decided politics mattered more than family, Dante said, his voice hard. This changes nothing. For the first time, something flickered in Lord Crimson's eyes. Pain? Regret? It was gone too quickly to tell. Very well. He pulled out a tablet, tapping a few commands. Information appeared on the screen. District 7. Warehouse 15. They change guard shifts at midnight. That's your window. 3 hours. Go in fast, get the girl, get out faster. And if you're captured, we won't be, Luna interrupted. Thank you for the information. Lord Crimson's eyebrows rose. So polite. So proper. Your parents raised you well, Miss Nightshade. Let's hope it's enough to keep you alive. As they turned to leave, his voice stopped them. Dante. Dante paused, not turning around. Your sister asked about you. Ivy. She wants to meet your mate. Now Dante did turn, surprise clear on his face. Ivy knows. Word travels fast in the court. She's excited, actually. Thinks it's romantic. Lord Crimson's tone suggested he thought otherwise. I told her it was complicated. That you might not survive this. Tell her I'll introduce them when this is over. Dante's voice softened. Tell her I'm sorry I haven't called. Tell her yourself. If you live through this foolishness. In the elevator, descending back to the lobby, no one spoke. Luna's mind was racing. Warehouse 15. Midnight. 3 hours. We need a plan, Kale said finally. A real one. Not just charging in and hoping for the best. I can get us through the wards, Arya said. And Luna's powers, if she can tap into her Moonweaver abilities, could disable their magical defenses. I don't know how to do that, Luna admitted. I've never trained. Every time my powers activated, it was by accident. Then we'll have to make it an accident on purpose, Dante said. Strong emotion triggers Moonweaver power, right? Fear. Anger. Love. His hand squeezed hers. The bond, Luna realized. You think the bond could trigger it? I think we're stronger together than apart. That's the whole point. Dante's silver eyes met hers. But it means we need to deepen the connection. Not complete it, not yet, but strengthen it. Enough that we can feel each other clearly. Enough that your power responds to both of us. How do we do that? Blood exchange. Partial. Just a taste. His gaze flicked to her parents. With your permission, Alpha Nightshade. I know it's fast. I know it's. If it saves Emma, you have my permission, Kale said gruffly. But if you hurt my daughter, you'll rip my throat out. I'm aware. Dante's voice was dry. It's been mentioned. Several times. Despite everything, Luna almost smiled. In the pack SUV on the way to the warehouse district, Dante pulled out a small knife. Silver, appropriate for both their species. This will hurt, he warned. For both of us. But it'll bind us closer. Make the bond stronger. Luna held out her palm. Do it. He pressed the blade to her skin, drawing a thin line of blood. Then did the same to his own hand. When their palms pressed together, blood mingling, Luna gasped. Power surged through her. Silver and gold, mixing, swirling. Dante's emotions crashed into hers, determination, fear, fierce protectiveness, and underneath it all, something softer. Something that felt almost like. I feel you, she whispered. I feel everything. I know. His voice was strained. Luna, But before he could finish, the world exploded into sensation. Through the bond, Luna could feel Dante's enhanced vampire senses. She heard heartbeats from blocks away, smelled blood and oil and the salt of the nearby ocean, felt the night air like a physical thing against her skin. And through her, Dante was feeling her wolf. The urge to run, to hunt, to protect Pac at any cost. Whoa, she breathed. Yeah. His hand was still pressed to hers, blood drying between their palms. This is intense. Understatement. Through the windshield, the warehouse district loomed ahead, dark, abandoned, and dangerous. Everyone ready? Kale asked from the driver's seat. No, Dante said honestly. But we're going anyway. They parked 3 blocks away. The pack security detail spread out, taking positions. Maya led half the team around the back. Kale, Arya, Luna, and Dante approached the front. The warehouse looked empty. Too empty. Wards, Arya whispered, her hands glowing silver. Strong ones. And something else. Something dark. Dark magic, Dante confirmed. Blood magic. The extremists must have recruited witches. Can you break through? Kale asked his mate. Yes, but it'll alert everyone inside. We'll have maybe 2 minutes before they realize we're here. Then we go in fast. Kale's eyes glowed amber as he partially shifted. Luna, stay close to Dante. Arya, disable the wards on my mark. Maya, he tapped his comm unit. You copy? Copy Alpha. We're in position. On 3. 1. 2. Arya's silver light exploded outward, shattering the wards like glass. 3. They burst through the warehouse doors. Inside was chaos. Figures in black, both vampires and wolves, united by extremist ideology, scrambled for weapons. Someone shouted an alarm. Magic flared. And in the center of it all, tied to a chair, was Emma. Luna. Her best friend's voice was hoarse, terrified. It's a trap. They knew you'd come. Of course we knew. A woman stepped out of the shadows. Tall, elegant, with dark hair and eyes that glowed red. Vampire. But old. Powerful. Did you really think Lord Crimson's information was genuine? He's one of us, you foolish child. He wants the werewolves gone as much as we do. Before Luna could process that betrayal, the floor beneath Emma exploded upward. A massive werewolf, easily twice the size of her father, erupted from below. But it wasn't attacking Emma. It was protecting her. And its eyes, one amber, one silver, were impossible. Hello, cousin, the werewolf spoke, its voice distorted but distinctly female. Surprised to see me? You shouldn't be. Did you really think you were the only hybrid in the family? The only one touched by prophecy? I'm Morgana's daughter. Half witch, half wolf. And I've been waiting 18 years for this moment. The werewolf's form shimmered, shifting into a girl who looked about Luna's age. Dark hair. Amber eyes with silver flecks. And on her wrist, a mate mark. Gold and black, swirling together. My name is Raven Blackthorn, the girl said with a cruel smile. And I'm bonded to a witch. Which means when you take the power and choose to save werewolves over vampires, I'll take it from you and make a different choice. One that eliminates everyone who's ever hurt my coven. Werewolves. Vampires. Humans. All of them. And there's nothing you can do to stop me, because according to the prophecy, only one of us can take the power. Only one of us can make the choice. And at midnight on your birthday, we're going to fight to see which one of us that will be. Behind Raven, a figure emerged from the shadows. A young woman with white blonde hair and eyes that glowed with purple witchlight. "Hello, mate," she said to Raven. Then her eyes found Luna's. "I'm Sage, Morgana's apprentice, and your worst nightmare. Because unlike you, who's still fighting the bond, we've already completed ours. Which means we're stronger, faster, more powerful. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to walk away, reject your vampire prince, and let us take the power. Do that, and your friend lives. Fight us, and everyone you love dies. Choose wisely, little wolf. You have exactly 1 hour to decide. The choice is coming." Sage says Luna must choose. Who do you think Luna will choose, and why? Would you make the same choice? Part 4 reveals the truth. Don't forget to check the community posts for more updates. See you all in Part 4, my loyal fans.